and also working with one of the client in the Ireland. And the interesting thing is that I learned a lot of things from you about the LinkedIn usage, and I'm enjoying that a lot. I was part of the training, I think in the group that was done in August, and ever since that, my LinkedIn is getting better every day.
Yeah. So the difference, Manzar bhai, between you and this community that you're now that
जी
you're kind of engaging with is okay, you did the online course, which was purely focused at LinkedIn. What they did was a 3 week solopreneurship training program, which is very different from it's not a LinkedIn training program. It's a training program in which we work together in creating our own roadmap to solopreneurship as is what should be the branding, how should we create what kind of content is specific to our own niche, and how do we grow, how do we network
great
and all that. So
great
it's a different program, very different of course price point के हिसाब से भी और उसकी जो then जो value drive की जाती है उस program से भी. So that's the difference between kind of doing that program and this bigger program. So ये अब थोड़ा सा आपको महसूस होगा, but because I could see your profile and things like that, आप आए सुने आके दूसरों का experience. नादिया,
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम everyone.
when are you coming to Toronto?
Actually the plan is cancelled unfortunately for the moment. मैं
Okay,
इंशाल्लाह मंडे को उम्रा के लिए जा रही हूँ for
okay,
a week
mashallah.
और अभी बस यही plan है.
Okay, चल, good. So quick
Uh,
introduction.
जी please. So I think only Manzar is new here, that we haven't met each other. Mr. Hafiz, we know each other. We know each other from Solopreneurship program. मैं फाइनेंस में काफी देर काम करती रही हूँ. I live in Germany and now I'm working in IT since couple of years. और IT में I was working as IT consultant, project management, and now I'm steering into area of cyber. और उसके साथ साथ हमाद के साथ सोलोप्रेन्योरशिप प्रोग्राम था. I think it was July cohort. और उसमें LinkedIn, I've been in LinkedIn since couple of years, actually since 2011 if I'm not wrong. और तब से लेके जुलाई तक मेरे 2000 फॉलोअर्स थे. नेचुरली जो भी ऑडियंस बिल्डअप हुई, मैंने कभी इतना एक्टिवली वहाँ कुछ किया नहीं था. लेकिन जब से हमारा का प्रोग्राम किया है वहां से इट्स बिन ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 3300 नाउ. तो it's almost getting doubled in a couple of months. तो ऑडियंस बिल्डअप हो रही है काफी ज्यादा. अभी भी मैं बहुत प्रोएक्टिवली उस प्रोग्राम को, जो रोड मैप हमने डिसाइड किया था, उसको मैं अभी एक्टिवली काम उस पर नहीं कर पा रही हूँ क्योंकि आई एम बिजी विद अनदर स्टडीज. लेकिन जैसे टाइम निकलेगा दैट विल बी द नेक्स्ट थिंग. मैं खुद भी कोचिंग के एरिया में विमेन मेन कोचिंग, मेंटल हेल्थ कोचिंग, मैं एक्चुअली हमारे के पास मेंटल हेल्थ कोचिंग के आइडिया के साथ ही आई थी और फिर इन्होंने गाइड किया कि नहीं, माय मेन फोकस अभी के लिए शुड बी जर्मनी एंड जर्मन कल्चर, हाउ पीपल कैन कम टू जर्मनी. उस सारी चीज पे थोड़ा सा काम हुआ है लेकिन अभी और काम बाकी है. तो होपफुली सून इंशाल्लाह.
जी, थैंक यू. और वो इंटरेस्टिंग चीज ये थी कि ऑफन होता है ये कि हम बहुत डिस्टेंट चीजों को जो है वो फोकस करने की कोशिश करते हैं और समथिंग विच इज अंडर आवर नोज हम उसको इग्नोर कर देते हैं. So that was exactly the case with Nadia as well, because she's been in Germany for years and she grew up there, studied there, speaks German language. So there was kind of a natural advantage to her to help people understand German culture और किस तरह से वो आती. तो this was all part of the program जिससे आप अपना रोड मैप बिल्ड करते हैं. और once you have a roadmap, then of course implementation is whenever you think that you are ready to implement, you can start implementing. तो ये एक उसका पूरा फोकस है चीजों का. So Ovais from Riyadh is joining shortly. He just sent me a message. He is said that I'm reaching home in a few minutes. So I'll join in, and like I think 10-12 people registered, so hopefully some will join in. Voluntary होता है purely, और हमारा basic मकसद ये होता है कि just to get together and see what's happening. So on on LinkedIn algorithm point, LinkedIn's algorithm, they keep tweaking it, and whenever they tweak it for the next few weeks, 2, 3 weeks, impressions and everything takes nosedive. Now, what do we do at that point in time? So what I tell people, instead of getting worried about the views नहीं आ रहा है ये लोगों की, just keep putting out content, because like you, there are many people who are worried and they leave the field, so they leave the game. Don't leave the game, stay in the game and just keep putting out content. Now, if you have and innovate as well. So innovate in the sense that, how can I do a different content from the rest of the crowd? Now, what I see is a lot of influencers. If you closely follow them, if you analyze their posts, most of these posts are pretty much meaningless. Just read the post, you will find most of the posts are meaningless. But still you see, 500 comments or 1,000 comments coming on certain posts. That's because they've been doing it for a very long time. And some of them are using paid marketing as well to bring an audience to their profile. We are not doing it. We are doing it organically, and organically will take time. But start using multiple channels. I would say start using the newsletter. Newsletter starts giving you, a captive audience. People who would actually subscribe to your newsletters will get that newsletter into their inbox whenever you publish it. I was not very consistent until few months ago, but now I do a newsletter every Monday. Every Monday I publish it. And then, of course, Manzar, my other newsletter that goes to my students through Teachable is also there. So if you have not subscribed to the email, please opt in so that you start receiving it as well. So what I do is that my focus is spreading knowledge. When you spread knowledge, when you coach people, when you help people learn something, you will see people start following you. And that's the concept of becoming a thought leader into your own space. So whatever
I have a question, Hamad. Sorry.
Yes, please.
Acha, I've been doing like variation of posting. I've been doing thodi si motivational posting related to women, also related to life and mind sciences, and then also cyber. But I have seen more traction on the areas of life and mind, let's say, instead of cyber. So this is cyber is not working out. I don't know what's wrong there.
So when you narrow your approach, you will see lesser traction in the beginning. That's the point that you need to really focus at, and you should continue doing it. Cyber is, if that's your to be niche going forward, continue it, but also follow that sandwich approach that I speak about. Is that the content that gets a lot of traction, you should do that content, and in between you do your targeted niche content, and you will see impressions going down, and most of the people looking at more life-like things, because people like to. I mean, if you see around you, most of the people think that they're struggling. Very few people think that they're not struggling. They're thriving, or they're doing pretty good in their life. You go into any social gathering, talk to people. As soon as you touch upon something, people will share how difficult life has been, and that's why anything to do with life, relationships, and things around that would actually get more traction. But now with this new tweaking of algorithm, there are new guidelines as well as to what kind of content LinkedIn is promoting, or LinkedIn will look at the possibility of promoting. I won't say promoting, which would get more visibility, and I'm going to share it in my newsletter coming out on Monday. Is what new guidelines are for content.
क्योंकि पिछले कुछ हफ्तों से तो इतना डाउन जा रहा
बहुत
है
बुरा है।
कि बहुत मतलब इट्स प्रीटी डिफीटिंग एंड
या
इट्स डिस्करेजिंग, क्योंकि फिर इंसान सोचता है अच्छा मैं कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ, कोई रिस्पांस नहीं आ रहा, कम्युनिटी से भी इतना रिस्पांस नहीं आ रहा और बाहर से भी नहीं आ रहा, तो यू फील डिस्करेज्ड एंड यू डोंट, it's hard to continue, to be very honest.
stay in the game. That's the only, see, I mean, I'm telling you, as a solopreneur, when you start your journey, there are so many, like, I would say, roadblocks. I won't say bottlenecks, roadblocks. Sometimes you feel that nothing is happening. Sometimes you feel that, there's no business coming in. The beauty here is consistency. If you stay in the game and you consistently keep playing the game, ultimately you will be the winner. And another little technique that somebody told me, who is a very famous coach, he said, what do you think I get? So he does, like, in-person trainings. I get these personal trainings every month. No, I don't. But I announce it every month. Nobody knows whether I'm engaged with in a training or not. And I announce the next one. I said, no, this one is fully booked. Announce the next one. It's all psychology. And I said, this is fantastic. So even with me, if, like, last couple of months, I was so busy and I announced, and then I just did not talk about my next Solopreneurship training program. Now the next one is coming in January, which I'm now talking about more often in my posts, and inquiries are coming in. But these inquiries are no guarantee that I would have 5 people joining in the training program, right? Some people will sign up, some people will not sign up. A lot of people won't sign up because a lot of people are not interested in really investing into themselves. They are looking for something free. But free, as we all know, has very limited value. So, but I don't stop. I just announce the next one, because as a solopreneur, I've got like several income streams coming in, and that's the beauty of a solopreneurship like career. You don't focus on just one income stream. You should build at least 2 to 3 income streams, because sometimes you get traction in one, sometimes you get traction in the other one. So just stay there. I don't see anything that we shouldn't be worried about. It will take time, but it will happen. And something that Ovais is very is an evidence of just wait and continue your game, and eventually you will win. Am I right, Ovais?
Yes, definitely. I'm not doing justice to what I've done with you before. बस थोड़ी सक्सेस आई, फिर उसके बाद I've put in a full stop. और जो आप कह रहे हैं ना कि फ्री हैज वेरी लिटिल वैल्यू, आई टोटली रिलेट टू इट, क्योंकि फ्री में बहुत सारे लोगों ने मुझे बहुत सारी चीजें दी हैं और मैंने उसका कुछ नहीं किया. द मोमेंट आई इन्वेस्टेड, आई सेड कि लेट्स मेक समथिंग वर्क, एंड दैट्स हाउ whatever I did was because of it. So I'm just waiting for the new session, because I have a very high
it will be
benchmark.
11th of January. So mark 11th of January. Okay, 11th of January is the date. So I'm giving you an advance date. I haven't announced the date as yet. I'm just kind of enrolling for the program. Now, because like all लोगों ने भी join किया है, तो मैं सबको introduce करवा देता हूँ, because Manzar is new here. Rest of the community, they know each other. Manzar is a certified coach, and he has been working with some large organizations, some amazing brands, CPD और बाकी सारी चीजों से भी की है. So you can go and look at his profile, and he actually has been part of my online course. So, but he, looking at his profile और इनकी engagement देख के मैंने कहा अगर आप interested हैं तो come and join in the community meetup, because it may benefit you. And I will now, in the interest of time, introduce everyone, because I know everyone. So I'll start with ANAM. ANAM is based out of Edmonton, and very inspiring. She is a pharmacist, D.Pharm, and then she did her MBA in the US, and then she moved to Canada, Edmonton, very cold Edmonton. and married with one son, I think, मेरे ख्याल में जहाँ तक मुझे याद पड़ता है.
Sorry, sir, क्या कहा आपने?
Married with one son.
A 4-year-old son and almost 2-year-old daughter.
Daughter, okay, चलिए.
Yeah.
So and then she pivoted into something which is amazing. So she is now working with local pharmacies, and she's helping them grow, like doing these local pharmacies को जो है ये social media marketing service provide करती है. Now, as a pharmacist, she understands the business and she understands exactly what a pharmacist की क्या pain points होते हैं, and then she also has the marketing link to it. So that's her. Ali Malik, Ali is based out of Milton, I think, Mississauga or Milton, and he is also into marketing for quite some time, and now pivoting into building his wife's business. Who she is. Her name is Lareb, if I'm not mistaken. I only met her once, and she is a photographer. And she has a very specific niche. She does photography for like maternity and for like newborns. So, and she has a specialization, and he is now kind of working on that side, building that business. We have MAAZ joining in, and MAAZ, यार तुम तो बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा है कि तुम जस्मीन एलेक बनते जा रहे हो. जस्मीन एलेक वाली लुक आ रही है तुम्हारी. So MAAZ is into production, and he is based out of Lahore. Bulle Shah Packaging, I think, है ना? ये मुझे याद रहती है चीजें. So he's joining us from there. Nadia मैंने already बता दिया. Ovais. Now Ovais की story बड़ी मजे की है. सबकी अपनी अपनी story होती. So Ovais actually is part of my online course. So he took my online course the way Manzar, you did. And then he reached out to me. Now, again, that's a lesson. If you don't reach out, the wheel which squeaks gets the grease, right? So he squeaked a little bit. He reached out to me, and I'm always available for people who have interest and who have some profile already. Like, कुछ किया है आपने life के अंदर. So he reached out to me and said, कि मुझे आपसे बात करनी है, मुझे अपने को लाइफ के बारे में डिस्कस करना है. And what he did, he actually made a little PowerPoint presentation. He sent me the presentation in advance. And 80% of that presentation was all in negative. Like, I still have it with the presentation में पर रखी हुई है. सब नेगेटिव था. मतलब मैंने जिंदगी में कभी कोई अच्छा किया ही नहीं है. मेरे साथ ये प्रॉब्लम है, वो प्रॉब्लम. And when I met him for the first time on Zoom, अभी तो माशाल्लाह इनका चेहरा बहुत फ्रेश नजर आ रहा है ना. He's worked throughout the day. रियाद में अभी है, but he looks fresh. He was under stress, and ये परेशान थे. परेशानी brings in all the stress on your face. और उसके बाद हमने कुछ थोड़ा सा काम किया. मैंने इनको कुछ, I think 15-20 मिनट की हमारी कन्वर्सेशन थी. कुछ चीजें बताई, कुछ चीजें इम्प्लीमेंट की, कुछ नहीं की. कुछ अब से कोई 4 महीने पहले या 3 महीने पहले इन्होंने मुझे गुड न्यूज भेजी. मैं सुबह उठा तो वॉइस नोट आया हुआ था, और वो वॉइस नोट बहुत ही इंकरेजिंग था. और मैंने उस पर बड़ा अल्लाह का शुक्र अदा किया कि अल्लाह ताला मुझे ये मौके फराहम कर रहा है कि मैं किसी की लाइफ में कुछ चेंज ला सकूं, चाहे वो बहुत कोई छोटा चेंज हो. और ये मेरा एम्बिशन भी था जब मैंने अपना ये काम शुरू किया था. तो खैर, तो एंड ही मूव टू रियाद. सो व्हेन वी मेट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, हिज एम्बिशन वाज टू स्टार्ट मेकिंग $10,000 a month. That was exactly the number. And I said, why do you cap it to $10,000? हो सकता है आपका पोटेंशियल $20,000 का हो सकता है आपका पोटेंशियल $5,000 का हो. So don't cap it. Just keep it open. I want to really make money and be more successful in life. That's kind of an open challenge to yourself. And Alhamdulillah, eventually he is now in Riyadh. And the word he uses is it took him 10 years to find that dream job. 10 years. That's where the consistency comes in, right? So, and I'm always amazed with this story. और ये बहुत मजे की स्टोरी है. और ये माशाल्लाह आते ही इन्होंने उम्रा भी किया और सारी चीजें. So again, the idea of this community is that we should stay engaged. What I'm seeing is lesser engagement. So the engagement group that we have, Uh, I made it for you. If you go into any community, जो लोग ये influencers run करते हैं, अभी जैस्मिन ने अपनी कम्युनिटी लॉन्च की $250 पर मंथ के ऊपर. $250 per month is the starting price. It goes up to $750. One person, 1 month, right? Now, whatever you got even in the full training program, 3 weeks training program, the community is there. Like it's a small community, कोई 17, 18, 20 लोग हैं उसमें, but it's your community. Why I try not to comment in most of the posts is that मैं comment करूंगा तो उसको खुद ब खुद वैसे ही push मिलेगा, because that's not going to be organic, right? मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप लोग आपस में एक दूसरे को help करें and then grow it organically. और अनम बताएंगी, अभी अनम से भी हम सुनते हैं कि there is my one of the thing was कि हम collaborations build करें. That was my idea कि I mean पैसे कमाने चाहिए, बंदे को $1 million भी कमाने चाहिए, 2-5 million डॉलर भी कमाने चाहिए. बट द पॉइंट इज कि यार अगर आप कम्युनिटी के अंदर किसी किस्म की आप कोलैबोरेशंस बिल्ड करते हैं तो अल्टीमेटली द रिजल्ट विल कम फ्रॉम समवेयर एल्स. सो अनम, अली और हयान could make it today. That was the trio that actually started doing something together. So but I think Ali इस वक्त शायद उसमें नहीं कन्वर्सेशन करे, but because Hayan is my part of my team, Hayan tells me that के अनम के साथ something is building up और कुछ चीजें आती हैं, कुछ चीजें चली जाती हैं. But अनम, collaboration, what is the power of collaboration? How are you kind of looking at it?
Sir, obviously, it's been a game changer, of course, because अगर मैं आपके साथ ये कोर्स या इस टीम का हिस्सा मैं नहीं बनती, so I wouldn't have known कि कोई बंदा क्या कर रहा है, या मुझे इतने आसानी से इतने ज़्यादा टैलेंटेड लोगों के साथ बातचीत करना, उनसे सीखने का मौका नहीं मिलता. एक आपके साथ तो सीखने का मौका मिला है, of course, लेकिन with you, the other team members who are like, they are already in their fields, and they're already like 10 years in the game, 5 years in the game, which is a big number. And I'll call myself a starter कि मेरी तरह अगर कोई बंदा अभी शुरुआत कर रहा है, उसको शुरुआत में अगर इस तरह के एक्सपीरियंस्ड लोग मिल जाएं जो कि आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करते जा रहे हैं, इंस्टेड कि मैं सोचती कि अच्छा ये कैसे होता है, वो कैसे होता है, तो मुझे ऑलरेडी आंसर उसके मिल जाते हैं. अब बिल्कुल अली मलिक के साथ मैंने कोलैबोरेशन किया था, एंड ही वाज काइंड इनफ टू बिकम द फर्स्ट गेस्ट फॉर माय लिंक्डइन लाइव पॉडकास्ट. तो वो मेरे लिए एक बहुत इंकरेजिंग था, और मुझे बहुत उससे कॉन्फिडेंस मिला. एंड आफ्टर दैट आई स्टार्टेड माय पॉडकास्टिंग. लेकिन अभी अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई थिंक वो लिंक्डइन लाइव ऑडियो पॉडकास्ट जो है वो बंद हो चुका है. सो वी हैव टू फिगर आउट द वे अराउंड इट. उसके अलावा अभी हयान के साथ ऑब्वियसली काफ़ी बातचीत अभी चलती रहती है, एंड ही इज़ वेरी मच एक्सपीरियंस्ड इन मार्केटिंग, परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग. तो वो मुझे बहुत गाइड कर रहे हैं कि मुझे मज़ीद किस तरह की स्किल्स के ऊपर काम करना चाहिए, और कैसे अपने आप को प्रेजेंट करना चाहिए, ताकि मुझे मज़ीद ऑफ कोर्स फ़ायदा हो और मैं सही डायरेक्शन में जा सकूं. जो अभी थोड़ा बहुत मैं काम कर रही हूँ लोगों के साथ, वो उसमें मज़ीद बेहतरी आ सके. तो ऑब्वियसली बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ायदा इससे हुआ है, इस
जी. तो और
कोलैबोरेशन
आप
से.
सीएक्सएल का भी कोई प्रोग्राम मेरे ख्याल में आपने शुरू किया हुआ था, मैं देख रहा था कि वो.
सीएक्सएल के तो मैंने अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह 4 कोर्सेज कर लिए हैं
हाँ.
ऑलरेडी. ईमेल मार्केटिंग का भी मैंने कर लिया है, एंड देन एसएमएस एंड ईमेल मार्केटिंग. मतलब नॉर्मली हम कहेंगे कि हाँ हमें आता है, बट जब तक हम सही प्रॉपरली उसको सीखेंगे नहीं, तो हमें वो पता नहीं चलेगा कि असल में काम किस तरह से होता है उसमें.
That is absolutely fine.
जी.
नहीं, थैंक यू वेरी मच. हमारे साथ एक और भी हमारे कम्युनिटी मेंबर हैं, इबाद. उनका भी मुझे मैसेज आया. ही इज अ सिविल इंजीनियर, और उनको पहला क्लाइंट टिकटॉक से मिला था. लाइक पहला लीड टिकटॉक से मिली थी. एंड सो इन माय प्रोग्राम आई ऑलवेज encourage people to do videos, और उसमें हम बात बहुत करते हैं ट्रेनिंग के अंदर. एंड ही वाज रिलक्टेंट, बट ही स्टार्टेड हिज टिकटॉक, and his first lead came through TikTok. And that is what I always say. There is an opportunity out there. How much efforts are we putting in to actually secure that opportunity? Or now we have to kind of convert our conversation into English, because मेरे साथ एक local Sandra join कर रही है यहाँ से. And so looking at how we build the conversation and how we create opportunities and work on ideas. Hello, Sandra. Good morning. Um, so so Sandra is going to join the next cohort as well. But I mean, she is very experienced communication coach, Toastmasters. She has taught as well, ESL and everything. So and we met on social media as well. So just think about it. And we met about a year ago, maybe, I think, and so what I would say, if you are in the game and you are not thinking, okay, I don't see people liking my post, or I don't see much traction, and you give up. Don't give up. Just continue, because somebody is watching somewhere. There will be that time where it's going to click, and they will be converted into your client, or maybe you start learning from them and you become their client. So we have Asif Aslam joining in, and Sandra. Very quick 1 minute introduction. We are just it's a very close community of those who have been into my program, Solopreneurship program, and I invited a couple of friends to join in and see how the community works. Very social, very in fact, Sandra, before you joined in, we were talking in Urdu, our own home language. Most of them speak Urdu. Although Nadia is in Germany and she speaks German, but she speaks Urdu as well. So over to you, Sandra. Very quick introduction.
Okay, thank you. I am Coach Sandra. I'm from Canada, not too far down the road from Hamad, and I am the compassionate queen of straight talk. I help people have the courage to speak up and use their voice. Within the region of ESL, I don't teach about dog and cat. I actually help you celebrate your accent, but make sure that we can understand it. So I work very closely with enunciation, pronunciation, contextual flow and flair and ease within the ESL. Within the communication, whether it's presentation skills or the deep work that goes inside your communication with yourself. So I guess that kind of covers me off.
Thank you. And you all can follow each other on LinkedIn and get inspiration from each other. Asif Aslam, can you please introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, hello everyone. I am actually out of home and in a doctor appointment office, so I may be sounding very strange. But my name is Asif, and thanks for inviting me. I'm a civil engineer, but within civil engineer, I work on stormwater management or rainwater management, and so far have been working on larger companies, larger projects. But I am willing to explore how this knowledge can be utilized for the benefit of being solopreneurship, or for maybe more avenues to explore. And thanks for inviting me. I will be happy to share knowledge. If you don't hear well, I can go a little bit away and speak
No,
loud.
you're absolutely
But
fine.
it is a
You're
brief
absolutely
introduction,
fine.
about 20 years of experience.
Where are you based, Asif?
Cambridge.
Cambridge. Okay.
Cambridge, Ontario.
Okay.
And in terms of my expertise, it's not only the normal traditional pipe. I also do green infrastructure, which is a big buzz nowadays. So, but I want to explore how this can benefit a wider community and maybe wider business and career objectives.
Okay, thank you very much. So interestingly, now you can put yourself on mute, and if you have to turn off your camera, you can do so. But I like to see people, right? So preferably keep your cameras on so that we could like relate to each other. Now look at this. This community is pretty much international, right? Somebody sitting in Cambridge, Ontario, somebody sitting in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, somebody sitting in Germany, somebody sitting in Oshawa, Ontario, somebody sitting in Edmonton, somebody sitting in Lahore. This is the beauty of working in a community. This is what I had aimed to create, and I'm so glad that I'm able to do so. The opportunity for solopreneurship is out there. I think whatever we know, we can turn that knowledge into cash, or we can actually monetize that knowledge. Asaf, similar to you, I had Ibad who is unable to join in. He lives also in Ontario. He is an engineer as well. So an engineer, he works as a project manager somewhere. And he joined in the program, and then he all of a sudden started thinking of, how do I create my own coaching program or mentoring program? And what I was telling everyone before you joining, probably you have heard that as well, that he got his first client through TikTok. So what Gary Vee says, so anybody who follows Gary Vee or his BS, so he like abuses a lot, but the guy makes sense, when you listen to him. And he said, there are 30 odd social media platforms where you can be. You need to pick the one that you actually can give a lot of time to. So for me, when I started my journey as a solopreneur from a very long and very rewarding corporate career, I was in 2020, April 2020. My only focus was that I'm going to train immigrants coming to Canada and help them understand how LinkedIn works so that they could find job opportunities. That was the only thing that I really wanted to do. And during COVID time, I actually made a lot of money because, people were jumping onto LinkedIn, and there were a lot of people who were in the pipeline, immigrants coming in. So I started getting clients from other countries, like, from UAE most of the time, in Saudi Arabia. So why am I focusing on Canadian market when the real money is outside Canada? So in the process, you learn and you start fine-tuning your things. And then, like, until now also, most of my big ticket clients don't come from Canada. They all come from outside Canada. But I've been very consistent in my focus and slowly building it up. I'm not rushing into it. So as a solopreneur, we have to offer instant gratification, but we should not, for our own selves, we should not expect instant gratification. Go slow and learn and see how it works out. Everyone sitting in this community has different focus. You have different skills. You work in different areas. You live in different communities. There is one thing common. We all want to do something outside our current domain, which means, if we are doing business, how do we scale up? How do we skill up and then scale up? And this is what the whole program that I've built up is all around. And the objective is that when we start, at the end of third week, we have to have a roadmap. And I think I probably am a little bit more, brave as compared to some other coaches. I actually provide a money back guarantee. If you don't create your roadmap, first of all, you have to follow what I'm telling you, and based on that, if you don't create your roadmap, I'll return your fee 100%. And why I say that? Because I have created myself. I've spent more than roughly 17,000 hours in creating my solopreneurship journey. So I've kind of encapsulated all that into it. Now, what have you learned so far? I'm telling you a story. Okay, all these numbers, 17,000 hours, the way I've created it all over, the clients that I've acquired from global audience, consistency, creating community. All these are stories that you have to kind of combine. And when you tell these stories, people get fascinated and they start trusting you. And some of them start giving you business. Last evening, someone who took my course, I think about 3 years ago in the US, he is into equity business, finance. He's now become managing director for an equity firm. He reached me out and we had a long conversation yesterday. He wants me to work on his company's complete branding and marketing. If that thing, if somehow we sign up, That's going to be a long-term project. I never reached out to him, but that is the relationship that should continue. When he came here, so I think he was visiting his family a year ago, and he said, Hamad, I'm here. Can we meet? And he was all the way in Mississauga, and Asif Saab and Sandra know how far Mississauga is from Oshawa. But I drove down to meet him and I had a cup of coffee with him. Relationships matter. So build those relationships, and I think the best way to build relationship is by staying in the game. And before Sandra, you and Asif, you join in, the other friends who had been part of the whole game, they were talking about a dip in the visibility on LinkedIn. And I said, okay, there is a dip. It's a dip for everyone. I've got 82,000 plus followers. I'm facing a deep dip right now. Deep dip. But does it mean that I should stop? This is the point where I should innovate. So innovate. What have you seen? Have you seen any innovation in my content lately? Anyone? It's something that I've done differently.
Videos.
The 100-day micros. So
100
what
micro
you're going to
strategies.
do, you're just going to do it every day?
Yeah. At least thrice a day. Now, how difficult it is in your own space to create something like this. And Ovais actually sent me a message. This is something that I want to do. Yes, do it. 100 sales strategies.
That's the end part. Do it is the problem.
Right.
वही structure के लिए so the structure is something I'm looking for,
Yeah.
and
So
that's why I want to join. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. So you innovate. When you innovate, you will see slowly people start appreciating you. Not everybody will appreciate. You don't need appreciation. Just continue. It's like a shopkeeper. There used to be corner shops, long time ago, particularly in the UK. There was still there are corner shops, and it's mostly family run. Right? It's like a husband, wife running in, or maybe the sons and daughters coming in, or cousins, and they will pull the shutter every morning at 7 a.m. or like the milk shop that we have here. They would shutter up every morning, regardless whether it's minus 20, minus 30, and they are in their shop and they're waiting for somebody to come. Somebody comes and they buy things, and you will be surprised at times what are they going to buy. Similar story that I just told you. I never expected him to reach out to me and discuss this thing with him, and he has got the money and everything. He said, let's give me a plan. And there will also be people. I actually worked with the textile manufacturer. Now textile is a big industry. They make a lot of money, right? He's based out of UK. It's family business. So the actual manufacturing is in Pakistan. This guy is based in the UK, and they cover the whole of Europe, sitting in the UK. He reached out to me, talked big. We had long conversation. I prepared a proposal. I did my research, and my team as well, and we prepared a proposal and we proposed him. And he said it's too expensive. So if it is too expensive, then of course you will be there rest of your life, because if you don't invest into your own self, you are not going to get it, right? So tell people that you have the capability and you can do it, and you can help them grow. And this is what we aim at in the program as well when we create our roadmap. Now Anam started her podcast, and she was actually doing some amazing. Honestly speaking, I was amazed the way she was bringing in top level pharmacists and people who matter in the pharmaceutical industry in the US and Canada, and doing those podcasts. Amazing. And all of a sudden LinkedIn changed, and you can't do a native podcast using LinkedIn's own native platform. In my podcast, and I used to do it on a very regular basis, from my own profile, I would easily have 400 to 500 people joining in. Now think about it. If I am talking to, and I'm a very small influencer. I'm like a tiny influencer, and I've got 500 people joining in every week. So I'm actually sharing my peace of mind with them and engaging with them and telling them, okay, this is their possibilities or whatever, responding their questions every week. If I keep doing it for 6 months, multiply that 400 into 4 is 1600 multiplied by 6. How many people would actually have listened to me? A lot. So it's a matter of how many times you say something, how many times you show up, how consistent you are. Uh, it, the solopreneurship game is very simple. Usually people make it too complicated. For me, I uh, I keep innovating. So innovate your content. You all can do it. Like, just get inspirations. 100, literally creating those 100 micro strategies was a piece of like maybe couple of hours. You know, I use different sources, put them together, put it on ChatGPT, fine-tuned it for me. I picked the top 100. Couple of hours of research and putting it together. So, and now that list is in front of me. I don't have to, and all these are so logical. These are so logical, and I'll be more than happy to share that list with you right now. Is I actually created a folder saying, and that says 100 micro strategies. So I'm doing these videos. My focus is to do a video in about under 1.5 minutes, so under 60 seconds, under 90 seconds, and literally I've got one liner in front of each micro strategy, just one liner. This one liner is good enough for me to explain things, and I don't edit. I just do it stamp-over. I just do it, right? So I've got these 100 micro strategies all done. I just have to just keep doing it. Very simple. So innovate your content, innovate, and provide value. Help people learn something. Now on podcast, everyone, yes, this is the downside of it. Now you can use free tools such as Restream and StreamYard to do your. So I've done video podcasts with StreamYard and also with Restream. I haven't done an audio podcast on it. What I heard, I haven't tested it, that to do an audio podcast, you have to subscribe. You have to take a paid StreamYard or paid Restream, or there are other tools as well that LinkedIn has recommended. I mean, if we feel that, okay, this $150 a year is a good investment to make it. We go for two people go for Tim Horton coffee, we spend more than that in just one go. So if we think that we should be investing into it, just do it, but be very careful. Now, also on investment, I've told you many stories. My own recurrent expense onto my own system that I created is about $750 a month. I spend $750 a month to maintain what I have, which is my online courses, portals, email marketing, other tools that I use for optimization and everything. The community that I've created, not this one, but the other community for my LinkedIn students. So, just think of that. When we invest, we grow, we get to know. But be very careful because there's so many tools who people promise a lot, but not everyone delivers what you really expect them to deliver. So we have spoken the most, I think, 9 minutes. If we have anything to share, anything to discuss, yeah, please let me know or share some thoughts.
How did you go through the 100 video journey? Did you take snippets from old videos and content that you had and then redid those? Or
No,
did
no.
you come up with a
All these
different?
videos are brand new.
they're brand new, but how did you come up with why 150? Why not 50? Why 100?
Yeah, so 100 was random thought, but 100 is a nice number to have. And what I'm also doing, all the content that I'm creating with it, I'm actually keeping that content as well. So once I've done 100 pieces of content, maybe in 3 months' time, 4 months' time, that 100 piece of content will then become a complete ebook for me. So I'm actually repurposing that content.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Asif Sahab, I've got your email address. I'll share that detail with you later on. But 11th of January is the date when we will start the next session. Sandra is coming, Ovais is coming, and Asif Sahab, if you are coming there as well, that's you can sign up, and I'll let you know how to. So 100 is a good number to have, and from me, most of us belong to a cricket playing nation, so we play cricket, right? And in cricket, 100 is the number. You have to make a century. It's a century. So 100 is the number, right? And just go back and think about it. Most of my community, the community that works with me is Indian, Pakistani, Sri Lankan, Bangladeshi, right? Cricket playing nation, right? So something that they can relate to is what you should talk about.
So you're doing it in English, okay? How
Yes.
So if you are going to reach out to these people in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, all of those places, even Saudi, because there are a lot of Indian
Yeah.
and Pakistani people here.
Yeah.
So would you do it in Urdu as well? Would you use that AI translator and do that? How would you go about doing that?
First thing first. Okay. First thing is that I should do it in English because
Why
I
English?
I am reaching
That's
out
not
to a wider audience. There's a chance that Sandra would listen to it as well. If I do it in Urdu, Sandra would not listen. Even if she looks at it, she's not going to pay any attention to it because she can't understand. Okay.
okay.
And English is an international language. Everybody, you know, I may not be speaking English in the same accent as Sandra does, but it makes sense, right? What I'm talking about. And it's so simple. So I'm kind of putting things out in a very simple manner, like using simple words, and simple vocabulary, simple structure. So 100 is, and you all can, I mean, start with 10, like, who stops you? The point is that you have to start from somewhere. This is what I always say. If we don't start, we're not going to reach to our destination. Yeah. And you all have experience, Wish you have experienced it as well. Had you not started your journey and the way you started engaging and commenting, he was in Karachi, like he was in Karachi working with a company. Now it took him 6 months to reach to Saudi Arabia and making good, earning good income but a 10 years dream came true in 6 months.
No. Let me correct you on that part.
Yeah.
10 years is correct. It took me 6 months because of the visa process. So the success happened in 2 months. I optimized my profile. I narrowed myself down. I did all the basics that were in the video. I did them. Okay. I bugged you a lot. I know you remember. I narrowed down and I did the commenting. I did the networking, and my chief operating officer, he did this post of a new thing, and I just commented, and I was like, okay, wow, awesome. And it was really awesome because it was something new. I never heard of it. And then I DM'd him and I said that, this is really amazing. I did not share my resume. I did not do anything. I didn't ask for a job. My new resolution was that I will not ask anyone for a job. And he just said that, give me your resume. And then it was vanished. He vanished. And then after like 2 months or something, the HR said that, we would like to have a conversation with you, blah, 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 and the rest is history. So it actually happened in 2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Everything from zero to hero.
So this is, I mean, this is what happens. See the consistency, and if we have a structure, we followed. And what's the harm in failing? If we fail, what happens? A lot of people
No
just
problem.
quit, right? People quit. They stop writing. They stop adding things. Yes, Sandy.
in the world of live video, I did it every day for over 3 years during COVID. And quite honestly, nobody's looking anyhow. So if you screw up, who cares? And I'm finding now that people are finding me anyhow and looking at it. And if you mess up, they look at it and say, oh, well, I can do that. So I don't edit either.
Yeah.
I think that is going to be our winning game going forward with so much ChatGPT or artificial intelligence, people making their profiles and having these phony voices do their readovers. You know, if you're just real, they're going to know you're real. It's going to win over the robots.
And you know, one of your win is, Sandra, that you have been doing it for 3 years. So if you have saved all those videos, you probably have a couple of hundred videos available already, right? Maybe more, right?
More.
So all those videos can be repurposed for TikTok, for Instagram, and for other platforms, YouTube Shorts.
Just they are on YouTube. They're on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. They're everywhere.
So the point I wanted to make is that your content actually, you know, so for me, I usually create something like 500 posts to 600 posts every year, and I've been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Now that's the visibility that I've got, right? You know, if every day if I do a post and only 200 people see the post, only 200 people, in 10 days, how many people will see my post? 2,000 people. I mean, shall I be bothered about it? Why am I not getting 10,000 views? Or I should just focus on those 200 people.
So Miss Sandra has been doing it for 3 years. Okay, she's been sending videos and everything. And I just saw your LinkedIn profile, Sandra, and you have 2,300 followers. Isn't there a disconnect here or something?
There is.
Yes.
That's what we need to fix.
Okay. Okay, where was these 300 videos? Were they in YouTube or something?
No, if you go down through my post, I might not have been in LinkedIn all those 3 years. I was on Facebook. So look me up on just Facebook as well. And they go back to January of 2021. I haven't been doing them every day more recently, but I did go over 3 years, every day, Monday to Friday. And it was just whatever was on top of mind. So it wasn't, I think for me, it was just putting my thoughts out there and who it helps, and people loved them, but I wasn't focused on any one aspect. So this idea of your 100 tips, 100 micromanagement items is going to be a good way just to focus in, no matter what it is you're doing. I would have chosen 90 because everybody works in quarters, that type of thing. So where the number comes from doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's just a matter. So even if I've done 100, even if I've done 50, people are not going to count. They're not going to count. Nobody's going to count, right?
No.
I will still say 100 micro strategies.
It should relate.
Yeah. So, and just, nobody's going to, as I said, nobody's going to count. So I have to be self-accountable here. That's why I put it on a piece of paper that, I'm self-accountable. I've done 5. And the next one is this, and the next one is this, and the next one is this. So, in this game, you have to be self-accountable. And, things start happening. Ali is very quiet, and Nadia also. So let's have another couple of minutes if anybody has to share anything. And then we'll...
Hi, everyone. Sorry,
Yes.
Ahmad, I've been a little, I'm actually traveling today, so I've not been able to contribute as much. I'm sorry for that, but I've been listening very closely and good to see new members coming in and joining the community.
Great. So I actually invited your wife as well to join in if she could, but I know if you are traveling, then you're traveling. Yes, Anam, you want to say something, and then
Yes.
we'll go to whoever wants to say something. Manzar, you.
I have to scoot. I have to scoot. Thank you.
Okay, Sandra, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, I actually just wanted to say that you were doing a lot of live audio podcast on LinkedIn every week. I'd say like maybe twice or thrice. So what are you doing about it? And I think now that we don't have that option anymore on LinkedIn, I have not seen your post about the live audio podcast. Are you still continuing it? And what's happening? Because for me, I was kind of like trying to do like a couple every month. Maybe I was trying to do one every week. And now what I have planned is the ones that I have already done. I'm going to make like short videos or reels about it, and then start posting some data in those short reels and videos on the social media, like other channels like YouTube and Facebook. But what about the live audio podcast? What are you
Okay.
doing about it?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what I will do, but so there was a time when I did 26 weeks continuously audio podcasts, where we had 5 people coming together, 5 mentors, and we did those podcasts in English. And that was a podcast. The highest number of people in one of the podcasts was over 700 people listening to us, right? A couple of things. One thing is that I recorded everything. Recording is not great because that tool didn't provide us the opportunity, but we recorded it, so I have that content available. Number two is that futuristically, I'm just thinking to subscribe to StreamYard, whatever, $120 or $150. If you talk to them, chat to them, they'll give you some discount during this period, like Black Friday and Christmas and all that. I personally feel it's an investment worth making if you're already doing it. Those who are not doing it, if you really are committed, then go for it. So instead of doing an audio podcast, you just go for a video podcast. Yeah, so you can invite up to 6 people into that thing. I mean, for the free version. Now, when you go and review the product. StreamYard is something that I have used as well as Restream, and you can actually broadcast it onto multiple channels if you have that paid version available. So you can do a stream onto your YouTube, like 3-4 channels. The content is available, and that content can be repurposed. The video content can be repurposed as well. So maybe audio podcast, maybe video thing. But at this point in time, because I'm just into quite a bit of things, on the Canada Startup Association front as well, we've just put a bid for a very large project. Another bid is coming on 20th of December, which we have to put in, which is like almost $750,000 worth of a project. So the other things are also happening. It's not only my training program. There are other things also happening in my life which are keeping me busy. It's not money coming in. It's at this point in time we are bidding for these major projects, and if we win even one of those, then it will keep me busy so priorities change. To rebuild something, which means that when we had the availability, I would just do it. To again going into the stream will take me time, so I'm just taking my time. But I love doing podcasts. You know that. And podcast gives us an opportunity to collaborate more. Like, more people will come together and would contribute into a podcast. So those collaborative efforts are really, really useful. Anybody else? But if you get to know something, please tell me also. Yeah, Manzar bhai.
See, let me see if I'm unmuted.
You are
Ji.
unmuted, yes. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that it was really good talking to everyone, getting their introductions, and I am really glad got everybody's perspective, got a lot of knowledge about LinkedIn, and the most important thing was that I got to know that I'm not alone in this. The fact that we're not getting a lot of traction from LinkedIn. I thought it was just me. I'm not going to say happy to know that it's everybody. It's just that it makes me at peace to know that it's going on with everyone. And the important thing is consistency. So I'm reading I normally read 2 books every month. I'm reading CEO Diary this at this point of time, and it talks about consistency a lot. And consistency is something that matters, and it also says that share your goals publicly so that there's a compulsion. It becomes a compulsion for you to achieve them. So that's something that I really learned from this session. And thank you, everyone. I would just like to thank everyone,
Sure.
Marbai, especially you for
So,
inviting
folks,
me here today.
next session is starting on 11th of January. If you know of anyone who might be interested in joining in the session, if anybody comes from your reference, I'm going to give them a special discount. So keep in mind, Ovais, you've already spoken about it, so we'll chat offline, means on WhatsApp about it. Again, usually 4 to 5, 6 people in a batch, and we go very strategically and follow a process that I've kind of tested into creating the opportunities for myself. Exactly, this is what we learn in the program, and yeah, hopefully we see you on 11th then. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
MAAZ
Ji.
sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Bye.
Bye.